to the Analysis Show. Myself and Leon Osman. We're going to talk West Ham shortly, but it's that time of the week. It's the highlight of the week. Strap your seatbelts in. It's Leroy's lecture time. Leroy?
Thanks, Matt. I was just watching the games at the weekend, guys, and, you know, Ronaldo is a magnificent player for Man United, but I honestly think that the role of the centre-forward has evolved. It's not just about scoring goals. It never has been. You know, when I was watching the game, everybody said, look at Ian Rush, look what he does as a centre-forward, look how hard he works. And I just wanted to go through why teams are successful and why teams are unsuccessful because of the role of the centre-forward without the ball. Now, we've got this clip against Man City as the weekend. I'm just going to pause it there. I just want you to, just going to highlight Ronaldo here. And now, I know he's 36 years old, but still at 36 years old, what he can do is dictate where the ball's going to play to allow the rest of the team to go and press, to try and win the ball back high up the pitch. I don't think he does enough. I don't think he's been asked to do enough. I'm just going to pause it there. You've got two players. Now, where you want the ball to go, as the ball's coming back across, you're thinking, OK, we want the ball to come across and to end up maybe in this position here. So the whole team then know where the ball's going and they can leave, as you did, you just showed, the players at the further end of the pitch. Now, as I play this on, the ball comes in here and I'm going to pause it here. By doing that, I think he is just not taking responsibility, in all honesty. Because as a centre-forward, what he needs to do is just come into... So I just do this one. Is to come in this area there and allow that ball to go there. That's all he needs to do. It's only 5-10 yards. We're not asking him to do a lot. And there's a midfield player that makes your life easier. Because look at this guy here. He has now got a massive problem because he's got three problems. He's got that one there, he's got that one there, and he's got that one there, and he can't read where it's going to go. All he wants to know is that it's going to go wide. And as I play this on, because Ronaldo just goes and stands next to the centre-forward, they get out easy, and Man City get out easy. This second clip, again, I'm going to pause it here. When you're pressing from the front, you need the ball to come onto you, because if you go into the box, you make it easy for people to play around you. And I'll play it on here. I'm just going to pause it. He's now asking for players to come on and push on into this position. Look, you see his body language. He's wanting them to push in there. That's not... What he needs to do is do that job. Come into that position and allow the first pass to just go there. It's not hard work. And he knows that. Look, he's a magnificent player. He knows that. And he just needs to be reminded. You watch what happens when he goes and stands next to the centre-forward. He just stands there, already marked. They don't know where the ball's going to go. City play an easy ball. Ederson gets the ball. He's vested playing out the back. And they get out easy again. That's not good enough. And the good example is Liverpool. You see, just in here, we've got the three Liverpool players on the edge of the box, and they want to dictate where that ball's going to go. And I'll just play this through slowly. Goalkeeper's on the ball. They are not going anywhere. They're waiting for that first pass to be made, and then they're going to dictate where the ball goes. Now, Mo Salah goes. Now it comes across to the wide area. Now play it on the full pay up. Look at them go. Look at them all go. Look at them all go. Look at them all go. And they win that ball. I'm just going to pause it there because I want to ask you guys as midfield players, you know, how important is it for the centre-forward not to run about and overwork, but to dictate where the ball's going to go for midfield players? Leon?
Oh, it's key. I mean, your striker is the trigger to any kind of press that you do, and you cannot press on the whole of the pitch or the whole half of the pitch. It's near impossible. So as you saw what Liverpool did then, you've got to try and condense the pitch into at least a quarter of it so that you do. And that comes from the striker making the first movement.
It does, but I also think that's my responsibility as well, to tell the striker where I want him.
Yes.
But I can say to Cristiano Ronaldo, to your right-hand side, 5 yards to your right, show him inside. Show him inside, because that's where I am. I'm ready to go if they play it inside. So I think your communication is key, personally.
I think it's enforced by midfielders behind him. You press from this side, but it's done on the training ground. You can't just suddenly turn up and press during a game. I can't tell you to press on the right because that's only me and you involved in the press. The press is at least 5 players deep, maybe even the 10 outfield players. So it's enforced on the field, you're right, Matt, by information, but it starts on the training ground.
Starts with you're absolutely right. Now, I was just thinking about, you know, West Ham has just gone into the top 3, and we're talking about why is it? Look, you look at Chelsea. You know the way they work. All their players work. Lukaku's in the time, he works back. When he's not in the side, it's Havertz works back. You look at Liverpool. We've seen Firmino. You look at Man City. It's De Bruyne playing that false 9. You now got a centre forward, Antonio, And people saying, oh, he's scoring goals, he's brilliant. But the reason why West Ham are doing so well is because of his hard work off the ball. I'm just going to pause it there because this is where West Ham find themselves for lots of the game. Look at these, all 10 players back, including the goalkeeper. This is Antonio just coming in, and it doesn't happen all the time. But at the moment when he can drop in and win the ball, what it says to the rest of the team is, thank God for that. And they're not worried about his goals. Yeah. This is worth more than its weight in gold because he does this. And all of a sudden, from winning that ball, they have got a 3-on-3 situation and a goal-scoring situation. This is something that I don't think United can do. And I think that's key. So they need to find a solution without that in their side. But the top teams, their centre-forwards, whether they're centre-forward or 10 like Firmino, they are working their socks off and doing a marvellous job for the team.
Brilliant. Excellent. Thank you, Leroy.
Thank you.
Top teams working from the front. Top team, isn't it, Leon? David Moyes' men at the moment, West Ham are absolutely flying.
They're flying, yeah. They're looking all together like a top team. Brilliant win over Liverpool. They're competing in Europe as well. They're getting results. They're playing like a real team, a real unit, all understanding the message from the manager, all understanding their roles within the team, and they're getting the results because of it.
Absolutely. Interesting stuff, that, wasn't it, from both Zuma and David Moyes about how Liverpool vulnerable when they're attacking. If you win the ball back, transition well, you can get in there. And David Moyes saying he actually wasn't overly happy with that first half. I mean, they were leading up until that Alexander-Arnold goal late in the first half, but wasn't happy with it, and they needed to get in their faces a little bit more in the second half. It was a good performance, though, wasn't it? It
was good, and he touched on at the end that they tried to do something similar last season that didn't work. Managers know they have a plan that they try and execute every single game. Sometimes it works, sometimes it didn't. When it works, and you've worked on it all week like they did, and it comes out, you're delighted. It looks brilliant.
What about the transition then? Let's have a look at the transition, Leon. When Liverpool attacking, this is where Kurt Zuma's saying space when they're attacking. You can get at them.
They're a real threat on the counter-attack. So as Liverpool get into this position, you look how deep West Ham have got as a team. They've got pretty much 10 of their players, including the goalkeeper, back into these positions, really able to defend. But these players here are the key to this.
I think
speed.
This has been a big change in West Ham, hasn't it, with David Moyes taking it, since he took over for the second time. They've had flair players at West Ham, but have they had flair players that work like these two now? Ben Rama couldn't get in the team last year. He signed him for big money, didn't get straight in the team, didn't work hard enough. All of a sudden now he's got flair players who are working to get the support of a striker.
He's seen the standards that David Moyes expects to be in his team. I've been part of it. He won't accept quality players if they're not prepared to work as hard, because they'll let the side down. And this is what happens when you get players that are prepared to do it. Because I'd say Liverpool will feel quite comfortable here.
Yeah.
Liverpool are quite well set up. West Ham, and they're attacking, and they're inside West Ham's penalty area. But the speed and quality at which West Ham can transition, good position from Fornells, forward pass, forward runs, and a quality pass from Fornells to start it off. And suddenly, it's a brilliant run by Antonio as well.
Superb, isn't it?
Coming and switching in. And suddenly, from one quality pass, this is brilliant defending by Van Dijk, but if he could have just got hold of this ball and turned, look at the speed at which, and the positions that these two are getting up in support. It's actually very good defending by Van Dijk, because Antonio thinks he's getting it in to the middle, forces the corner, and they score off that corner. So that's a very impressive start. But it wasn't a one-off. It was something that they tried to do again, very similar.
Well, this time, with no striker up top, we should say Antonio is back in there doing his work defensively as well. He's got, keep your eye on him. But that's where he starts.
Yeah, but they still having their players in similar positions. There's, say, your two wide man. It's Fornells here, but he's doing the Antonio role of the furthest up front, understanding the roles expected within the team. Antonio's gone back to cover, defending, but how quickly, again, with good quality passing, it's secure passing, great intelligent flick round the corner. Suddenly,
he's in.
Suddenly you're in on goal. What's that? 1-2 passes later, good quality. Bowen is still...
It's a 60-yard run from Antonio.
Bowen is still at the bottom trying to get up, so Antonio's not completely isolated.
This is a desire, though, isn't it, from West Ham?
Yeah, and if he'd have had a better touch here, he's got a 1v1, just unfortunately didn't work or his touch just let him down, but they were a threat. And you see what West Ham did, which is different from what other teams have done against Liverpool, because Liverpool have such attacking fullbacks, although he is on the pitch. They have such good attacking fullbacks. Quite often, the opposition playing against them don't want to leave them isolated, so they'll spread the defence out. West Ham didn't. They said, we're going to be really compact, really tight. We're not going to give any spaces through the middle. We're also not going to go back and mark them direct, because we won't be able to counter-attack. Bowen wouldn't be able to counter-attack from that position. Fornell, it's Benrahma, he wouldn't be able to counter-attack if he went all the way back and mark him. So, cut that pass out, try and stop it going in there, direct, force them through the middle, and we'll win the ball back.
They did defend narrow as well, West Ham, didn't they?
Very narrow. Very narrow. Loads of players around the ball.
Almost said you can have it out wide.
Win the ball back. Suddenly, again, without you really knowing, look how quickly they've got those three players into that position against
three
of Liverpool. And it starts by being compact at that end of the field, forcing the opposition where you want them to be, and being ready to go for the counter-attack.
It's hard work, though, to do it, though, isn't it? I mean, it is hard work. There's a real buy-in from the West Ham players, isn't there, to be able to do this?
Absolutely. But again, stop it. It's not just those three. Look how quickly the others have got up around it. Look, 1, 2, 3, 5 in a moment, getting into the opposition's half. It was a great game plan from David Moyes, knowing that the opposition are weak again. Look how narrow that back four is.
It is. This is slightly different. This is the second half when David Moyes said, we need to be a bit more aggressive. We need to be a little bit higher up the pitch. Rather than coming too deep, we need to go for a bit more of a threat going the other way. And Fornell's played a little harder.
As we showed in the first half, they had, I would say, probably these two players, and Fornell's probably would have been in there as that three ahead of the midfield too. But in the second half, he played so much further up the pitch to sort of be right up there with Antonio, off the shoulder of Fabinho, to give him something off his shoulder to think about rather than always being able to see. And it really helped them, you see, to be able to play this ball. Great touch by Bowen.
He's had a little look
into there, and what a pass this is.
Brilliant.
Right round the corner, flicking in for Antonio to get after. And again, as we've seen, look at the support. Bowen's right up there, Benrahma's right up there, and that forced the corner that got them another goal in the game. Again. Yeah, and this one was the goal. And again, good positions. They've won the ball back, and Bowen's already, look, he's already off.
Front foot,
He's already, we've won the ball back. I'm going to trust that my teammate's going to keep the ball. I'm not going to wait another second and stand still. I'm already going to set off. I'd say Benrahma's probably thinking the same from that position. Can I make a forward run? Fornells is keeping the ball. Antonio, very similar. I'd say his body position is pretty good. He's thinking about, can I make that one? And how quickly they get forward. And you see all those players quick reacting, getting brilliant by Bowen. Antonio takes one runner, Fornells takes the other. Speed at which they got inside Liverpool's fullbacks into those positions.
Is he a bit unlucky, Jarrod Bowen, not to be in an England squad?
No, not quite yet. I think that probably needs to keep playing at this level for a touch longer. We spoke about other players that have played well on short periods, but there's no doubt his effect on this team and the speed at which he can play, and he likes to come in off that right-hand side. And West Ham are a confident team at the moment, performing on all fronts. And you know, people have mentioned this weekend, are they in the title race? I'm not sure they are. I think David Moyes was very real in his appraisal of that, but they're certainly competing well at the top of the league.
One thing they are very good at, and we know that, is set pieces. Scored a couple of goals again this weekend, didn't they? From set pieces. If we play it on. I'm just going to talk about the setup first of all, and how West Ham set up, because it's not as if they throw loads of bodies in the box and they say, we'll just fill the box up, we'll maybe get lucky. They get 3 in the 6-yard box, around the goalkeeper. You see 3 of them all around the goalkeeper, and you've got 2 in Zuma and Soche, who brilliant at attacking the ball.
For me, I think they're the best 2 in the league, probably, or certainly in the top 5. Those 2 individuals that go and attacking the ball.
So you're asking, Mane, is it? Fabinho, Trent Alexander-Arnold, maybe, to do a blocking job?
Well, they're zonal, so they have Matip, Van Dijk, and they've actually got Jota. At times it's Firmino.
That's what they call the Firmino.
Jota's playing on his occasion, right in the middle of the 6-yard box, which seems a bit strange to me.
Yeah.
If you're going to leave him to go in there and head the ball. Keep your eye, though. This is probably the most bewildering position and attempt at clearing things of all. Just keep your eye on how he affects things.
Should we play it through slowly?
Yeah. Because West Ham identified 3 areas to go and attack the ball. Just before you do, they identified 3 areas. One was this area at the front post.
Yeah.
One was through the middle. And one was round the back. And one of their players, they alternated who did it, but one of their players attacked those areas each time. And they scored 2 goals from it. This one, I think is a goal. I think
Jurgen Klopp not happy.
Weak.
Jurgen Klopp not happy. He thinks it's a foul. Is it a foul?
No, I don't think it is. I think he's just... I think you're allowed to have contact. I think that it should... But just see how Trent and Mane just leave Souček. It was Souček who ran into that area.
This is it now. So that's the freeze. That's the one that Jurgen Klopp said foul.
Well, I don't think defenders need to get out of the way of goalkeepers.
I
don't...
Cross his
arms up, but it's arm v arm. It's not arm in the face. I think that, when players go up and their arms make contact, it's not a foul. So I think that one was...
No, for what it's worth, I thought it should have been a goal. I thought it should have been a goal. I think goalkeepers often are overprotected. I actually think Alisson needs his setup to be better as well, to get somebody, because he's fed up with having Antonio around him. He needs somebody to help him there.
I'm surprised the fact that Jota's in there. I'm surprised that he didn't say go in and just keep him a yard. Get in between Antonio.
Because he keeps pushing Antonio away. Again, the setup, look, before it's taken, they wait until it's done. 3 in the 6-yard box again, and just 2 attacking it again from slightly deeper.
And again, this position, I'm still trying to work out what effect. I get the feeling he's supposed to be part of that.
It's even better seeing it on the last goal, isn't it? Because they had 3 corners, I think, in the game. Scored from 2 and hit the bar with the other. And
I think it's this one. I'm going to just highlight him, Trent, here, because usually you'd expect you've got your players at the front, zonal going across in these areas. So I get the feeling that he's supposed to be in this clip, but we've highlighted it once. We're going to see it in a moment. One run, marked by Mane, into that area.
I think he's thinking, we win the ball, I'm off. I think that's what he's thinking. I think if we win the ball, keeper catches it, I'm off and we're on the attack.
Well, you've got to defend the corner first. Sure. And yes, you're not the biggest, but you've got to affect the player you're coming up against. And it's actually Dawson who gets through the middle for this clip. You see him.
Makes a good run from behind.
Souček's there. Not quite sure what Trent's doing at the far
post.
And
this is the last goal. And I'm going to, again, play this slowly, because I think this is brilliant. If we just watch Sadio Mane, he has the right panic up. He's supposed to be blocking Kurt Zouma. Watch him, if I play this slowly, just watch Sadio Mane now. He knows he's lost him. He jumps, he thinks, oh no. And he's jumped about 5 yards away from Kurt Zouma.
Well, he knows. But again, I'm bewildered at the effect that Trent Alexander-Arnold's having on this set piece. If you're in there, you're there, that any ball that comes over the shoulder of Virgil van Dijk is yours to go and attack. You have to realise Van Dijk's not getting there. I've got to step in.
I think it was Brentford that overloaded on the far post against Liverpool, wasn't it?
They've seen, and David Moyes is a manager that looks very closely at set pieces at both ends of the field. So as that's coming in, Zouma, Trent Alexander-Arnold clears the way, allows him to get in there. Mane can't stay with him. And it's a clear goal. Mane was never close enough to Zouma right from the beginning of that to affect him. It was... West Ham are very good at set pieces, but Liverpool made that very, very easy for them.
I think the stats back that up as well. If we look at the stats from, since David Moyes returned, West Ham have scored 32 goals, nearly 30% of their goals actually from set pieces. That's 5 more than any other side, and that was Liverpool. And we've got one other. This is their set piece profile. So Premier League this season, they've taken 62% of their corners have been in swingers, only 32% out swingers. So automatically they're looking to get that ball in towards that 6-yard box where they have 3 people in there. Chances created from the in swinger, 8 of them, and that's the best in the Premier League. When they've done the out swinger, it's 5, and that's the 5th best. I think the numbers at the bottom are quite interesting, because the average teammates in the box, and I said they only get 5 men in the box, so they're averaging 5.02. That's quite low down in terms of Premier League numbers.
And yet they're top.
And yet they're top
5 more goals than anyone else with only 5 players in the box. But they always have at least 2 inside the 6-yard box.
And actually against Liverpool it was 3, because they recognised maybe that the goalkeeper's not the best, or...
Well, you think about set pieces, where are they scored from? Certainly no further than 7 or 8 yards out the header when it comes in. More often than not inside the 6-yard box. So that's where you want your players to.
Can they keep this up, West Ham?
Yeah, I think they can. I think Mikel Antonio staying fit is key. I don't think they have anyone close to what he offers, really. Bowen will give you a good striker's role, but I think he's key to whether they can maintain this.
Absolutely. OK, let's head back down to the social hub. And Leroy?
Lots of positive reaction around West Ham. Rangu says, "Hi Lou, I just wanted to say when watching Liverpool against West Ham, it was as if Liverpool were playing Brentford because of how they overloaded the box and putting pressure on Alisson and Alexander-Arnold probably, and they had so much energy." Carlos says, "If West Ham continue with this performance, they might win this season's Premier League." He said, "I can only wish them the best." And Kat Leho, he says, "Leon, do you think that we're seeing the best West Ham team ever with how they play and hard work?" He says, "I think David Moyes has really built the squad that he's dreamt of." Is this the best West Ham team ever?
I'm not old enough to give you an answer, a proper answer to that. What I will say is they're a very good West Ham side. I think the argument is detriment to me whether it's David Moyes' best side he's ever assembled, because he put a good couple of teams together at Everton, but this one is very strong at the moment.
Leroy, I think you're better equipped to answer that. You played in a pretty good West Ham team.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as this side. No, not as good as this side. The team that would be just before with McAvenny and Cottee up front, when McAvenny moved on and I went in, was a fantastic team. I think they finished third in the league as well. That was an exceptional team. But look, this team is fantastic. We'll just see where they end up. But look, talking about the players in the team, I just saw a couple of things from the West Ham team at the weekend that did make me giggle. Just going to slow this down. I just wanted to have a look at Mikel Antonio there, because look, he makes some fantastic runs. But who was the ghost defender who just tripped him up there? Who was that? It's a foul, Beth. Who did that? And just this one as well, Declan Rice. Look, I just absolutely love Declan Rice. And look, you talk about a young man who's learning his trade, but this is fantastic. It's the oldest trick in the book. I'm just going to play it forward there. Just wasting time. Just the old Paul Gascoigne thing, which I absolutely love. It shows a real confidence, and you know that's important in terms of game management as well. At the moment, West Ham are right on it.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you, Leroy. We're going to take another